my music is dynamic. It has soft sections and it has very strong sections, and that's what gives it power. It's like, in Tai Chi or martial arts, there's always a feeling of filling up and of emptying, and of filling up and of emptying, and that's what I try to keep in my music. Tension and release. Tension and release, like in sex. If it's all tension, there's no release. No, the anger is my problem. I mean, my problem, my burden in life is that I'm an angry person. I have anger in my soul. That's not really who I am. That's an attachment that gets in the way. And any references to any philosophy might have to do with my own perceptions or my own personal spiritual place, or just the place where I'm at. But a song like the Buddha do, what that really is pointing out is like, you don't find real spirituality in a church. You don't find, spirit. You don't need a temple. Your life is your temple. Life is your body. The person on the street is more of a Buddha than the guy in a robe in a temple somewhere chanting, because in order to really be a Buddha, you have to live your life. You have to live it practically, and that's what I try and do through my music. My main sources of inspiration are walking down the street and talking to everybody I meet, and listening to people. You can learn more in life from listening than you can from talking, but most people don't listen. The only thing they want to listen to is their own voices. So I try to listen to everybody and listen to what people say. And from that, it's constantly inspiring. Every song on this record was inspired by a situation I encountered in my life directly, from Un-American Blues, which was inspired by traveling through Europe. My music's constantly evolving because I like to think I'm constantly evolving, and everything's always changing and everything's always moving. So it's just a constant process. It's an organic process. Musically, I think it's just getting more mature. I'd like to get into more Pakistani music and more Moroccan music and that kind of thing. I'm really attracted to that for a lot of reasons. I like it rhythmically and I like it spiritually, and I'd like to incorporate more in that. And I'd like to incorporate more electronic music in the future. And maybe I'll do separate projects like that. But ultimately, it always comes down to the guitar for me. So even though these things may influence me, it's always about the guitar. What you interpret as anger sometimes is simply me putting out what I feel is my strength. I put it out as a declaration of freedom and of my own independence. And it's fierce, so people are intimidated by it. But I think it has a lot of power, and I think that song has a lot of power. Plus, I love punk rock. And I wanted to show people that even though I'm a fat old man, I can still play punk rock. So fuck you. We're trying to put good energy and positive energy forward for people to attach to and for people to be inspired by. I got called for a Woody Allen movie last year and I actually got the part, and I went and met Woody. I met Woody Allen, which is fascinating because he's exactly like you would expect. Just like Woody Allen. Funny. But I couldn't do it because I was booked to play a festival in Norway. So music is my first priority. I'm an American citizen, but I'm a citizen of the world. I travel everywhere in the world. So I see the French point of view. I see the Asian point of view. I see, every point of view. And I see the different media. And I see that CNN in America doesn't play the same stories as CNN Europe. That Al Jazeera doesn't play the same stories as CNN America. That Euronews doesn't play the same stories. The media is biased. I think if you want to get a view of what America is about, talk to an American. Everybody has political views. If you think historically, politically, in American politics, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Abraham Lincoln, who was viewed as one of the great humanitarians and one of the great liberators of people of all time, was a Republican. The Republican Party in America of 150 years ago has no resemblance to what it is now. It used to be the Republican Party was the party of the republic, or the party of the people. That changed, and it became the party of the rich. In America, if you're not rich, you have nothing. You either make it or you don't. That's what the American dream is. The American dream is you start with nothing and you have something. But if you don't make it, you have nothing. I was born very poor, grew up with absolutely nothing. I had no clothes. When I was a child, I didn't even have a bed to sleep in. I slept on the floor. And today, because of my talent and because I can play the guitar, I have a good life. I think America is a place where that can happen. Obviously, America is the last great superpower, and maybe maybe American civilization is on the decline. That's what it would seem. It would seem like we're in the second fall of the Roman Empire right now, with the way things are going. So the world politics and the world economy, for the most part, has always followed the American point of view out of necessity and based on a post-World War II mentality, which is rapidly changing. I think Western politics is like a beast with many heads. And I think the main head is George W. Bush. And quite frankly, he frightens me because he's a religious fanatic. And I'm afraid of religious fanatics because they're dangerous. In hindsight, I think it's going to be the way that the Bush administration responded to 9/11 is going to be his undoing. The American people don't have tolerance for is the death of their children. I don't think anybody in the world has tolerance for that. Nobody can bear that burden. So even with basically the Bush administration plays on the fears of America. That's what the top 10 reasons is about. They see their children dying, and all of a sudden, it's not worth it. It's not worth the fear. They see their basic human and constitutional rights being violated, and all of a sudden, people speak up after a while. That's the beauty of being an American, is that you have a right to speak up. You have a right to protest. You have a right to speak your opinion. Right now, they're trying to change that, and hopefully they're not gonna, I don't want to be anything but Popa Chubby. I want to be a musician. I want to play the guitar, and I want to make people feel good, and I want to ease people's suffering, and that's all I want to do, man. And my opinion is solely my opinion. It does not reflect anything else. I'm one man with one opinion, and they say that opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Peace, love, and respect. You're not going to have peace without love, and without respect, you can't have peace and love. So it's a single thing that's three at the same time. Can we say of this recording it's my most personal album to date? Yes and no. In a way, it's personal because all my records are personal. They're about my personal experiences. They're about my thoughts. They're about my feelings. But in a way, I'd say this is my most global record to date because it's more about my thoughts on humanity and the human condition and the political condition and the spiritual condition, my own and that of people around me and people I see all over the world. There's definitely more of a focus on the lyrics as well in this record. I think guitar-wise, this is my strongest record. I've done things with the guitars in this record as far as multi-tracking and harmonizing and that I never did before. And I think on a pure blues level, it's the most immediate. What I hope the record to be is a message to people everywhere that makes people think and brings people together. The middle finger is not dedicated to anybody, but when we thought about using symbols for the three words, peace, love, and respect. And when we thought about peace, it's obvious, peace. When we thought about love, it's obvious, a heart. When we thought about respect, I thought, what do I want to do here? I want people to see this and think. I want them to think about respect, what respect is. And I thought the best way to get people to think, there's a saying, if you want to get a mule's attention, first hit it over the head with a piece of wood. So that's what this is. It's a piece of wood. When people see this, they go, what does that mean? And then they have to think about it. I think Top 10 Reasons is a valid song. I think one good thing about my songs is they never become dated. The song is really not even about politics. It's about my own mind. It's about when you're alone at night and you lay down and everything runs through your mind, all your fears and all your demons run through your mind, and you think, oh man, I ate at McDonald's in Paris in 1985. Oh my God, what's going to happen, you know? But it's funny, even when that happened in America, they said it was a Canadian cow. You know, as an American, I think America has offered a lot to the world, you know? McDonald's, rock and roll, and Popa Chubby.